There's another box in the thumbnail, isn't there? This film was started with a sudden attack of gas. Whilst online, not looking for this at all, not having any idea that I wanted this at all, I came across it and I thought, oh, I want that. And 15 seconds later, I bought it. I've never done one. I've never done one. It just goes to show that signature guitars don't have to be expensive. Are you ready for the big reveal? Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. There's another box in the thumbnail, isn't there? Yeah, this one. I couldn't help it because this came in a box and it's got this big ding on it. And I thought, oh, that could be interesting. And I thought, oh, there's my thumbnail. So that's how this film has started. Well, that's not true. This film has started with a sudden attack of gas. Whilst online, not looking for this at all, not having any idea that I wanted this at all, I came across it and I thought, oh, I want that. And 15 seconds later, I bought it because I couldn't not. Because, well, I think you'll see why if I stop talking long enough to open it. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to get stuck in. I'm going to open it with me trusty butter knife. I'm going to open it. We'll see if it's in one piece, and then you'll understand why the thumbnail that I think I'm going to use, which was, I think this could be interesting. It's a double-edged sword, really, because this is not what you will expect from me. It's just not. Well, I don't think, no, it's not. It's not. I've never done one. I've never done one. But you'll understand why I'm doing this one. So, without further ado, that's what they say, isn't it? Without further ado, let's open it and find out what I'm making all the fuss about. Here we go. Let's do it. Oh, hello. There's another box. I didn't expect there to be another box inside it. I don't know why. It's going to confuse matters. And it says, I don't know if you can see that, open other end. I haven't planned this at all. Open this end. It's very exciting. Come on. Stop mucking around. Not giving the game away yet, have I? No. Well, it's a Fender. You can see that much if you've been paying attention. Here we go. Yeah. Let's get rid of the box. I think at this point, it's fair to say we still don't have a clue, do we? It's come in a fairly nice soft case. Have you begun to guess? More packing material. Jesus. It's well packed. With a bit of luck, it will be in one piece. Are you ready for the big reveal? It's very light because it's one of these. It's an acoustic. Hang on, Cole. It's an acoustic. What's going on? Well, it is. It's a Joe Strummer tribute. They call it the Campfire acoustic. It's got a bit of plastic. Weird. Look at that. Look at that. It's cool, isn't it? So, well, it was the first acoustic that I've even spoken about, let alone bought, since I started this channel. There you go. That's what we're looking at this week. It'll be a different review because I've never reviewed one. I don't really know how to. We'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll have a little bit of a strum, and yeah, find out a little bit more about it. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to tidy this mess up first. I'm not into acoustic guitars at all. I haven't done any on the channel at all. At all, no, none. 3 years now, not one. I wasn't looking for it, but I was online and I saw that £349. I thought, that looks interesting, because I'm really into Joe Strummer, as you might know if you're following the channel. I got this one. I got a much more expensive Joe Strummer tribute a while back, which I've reviewed on the channel. And I'm in the middle of making another one on the TV channel, which I'll tell you a bit more about in a second. But I saw this. It was a must-have, really. It was a must-have, £349. So the Campfire thing, Joe Strummer was a legend. Well, he's a legend, wasn't he? Legendary for going to the Glastonbury Festival and having massive bonfires and having all people around where he would philosophise, I expect, with all sorts of weird and wonderful and lovely people. And I believe, I've never been to Glastonbury, I must be honest, I'm a bit old for that now, but I believe that it's an ongoing thing that they do in his honour. I think there's a Joe Strummer Campfire area at Glastonbury. Let me know if you've been, because that's just what I've read online. But anyway, and this is a tribute to Joe Strummer, at £349. In fact, these are still available on the Fender website for £410, and there's a few stores in the UK for sure that have got these still. So, you know, I know it's been out a while, but it's still relevant. I'd only just heard about it, so I bought one, and I think it represents really good value. Not know much about acoustics, but I know that 350 quid for an acoustic guitar isn't a lot. So, I mean, I bought it because of what it is, and because, well, I've got a couple of acoustic guitars, but I thought this might be nice. Maybe I can get into playing them, because I think playing acoustics is a little bit different. I didn't learn on acoustics, I learned on electrics. And I don't really know how to play acoustics, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, obviously the chords are the same and that, but there are certain limitations, and I'm not a picker. I'm not a picker at all. To my detriment, I'd like to learn. Every now and then I have a go at learning Travis picking. That's it, isn't it? I'm no good at it. I will maybe learn. Maybe I'll learn on this. I can do a few chords, but that's it. So maybe this is what I needed. Anyway, what I'm going to do is just go through some specs, really. I'll tell you, I mean, I can't take it apart, obviously, like I normally do. So we'll have a look at some specs, and then we'll have a little play out, and that'll be it for today, I think, probably. I've probably spoken quite a lot already, haven't I? So, specs. It's got a solid spruce top, and it's got a mahogany back and sides. Sorry, it should be like that, shouldn't it? Back and sides. I think that's laminated. And it's got a walnut fingerboard, medium C-shaped neck, and these Cluson style vintagey tuners. And it's got obviously the Fender, I was going to say 70s, but I don't think it is a 70s style, is it? That's the, I think that's, is that the smaller one? I think that's a smaller Fender headstock. But it's tilted at an angle, if you can see that on the camera there. Yeah, let's see if I can get a shot of that. Here you go. It's tilted. Hope that's focused. And then, you know what they do in the specs, they say to add sustain. Whether or not that's true, we don't know. But it hasn't got a string tree as a result of that. Didn't need one. It's got a Graphtec new bone nut. And it's got a Fishman pickup system in it as well. I've plugged it in and had a quick go through the Bluesbreaker because that was set up from last week, and it sounded, I mean, I sounded quite nice. I don't know anything about acoustics or acoustic pickups. I do know Fishman is very reputable little bit of kit, and I was quite surprised even to find that on an acoustic for £349 with that, with a jack plug and a battery in there. But it sounded quite nice. Well, I thought it sounded quite nice. You let me know. There's a little play out jam where I've had a whittle around on it. Let me know what you think. It's got, oh, I mustn't forget these star inlays, which are very, very cool, aren't they? And it's got a sticker inside. I'll do some B-roll of that. It says Joe Strummer edition, built by Fender. Strummer Campfire matte black. There you go. That's amazing. Literally, it's taken me 2 seconds to drop my pick inside. Right, I've got these new picks. I just discovered Herco picks, and I don't know why I'd not heard of them before. I found one at home, and I don't know where it came from. I think I might have got it free with something, you know, with something that I bought, maybe a pickup or something. Anyway, I thought I just picked it up because my normal ones, I normally use these. Hang on. While we're talking about picks, I might as well. I normally use these Ernie Ball taut purple ones. I think they're 1mm. I've been using for ages and they're fine. And then anyway, I picked up this grey Herco pick, and it's flimsier. It's 75.75, I think it is. Anyway, it felt really good. Oh, I thought, oh, that feels nice. So I sort of Googled it. I thought, what's that? Because I thought, oh, that's just a cheap old shitty pick. Apparently not. Herco, they're the ones. Jimmy Page used them. Everyone used them apparently back in the 70s. So then I came across an authentic 70s version, which is not the grey one. It's this colour. So I bought a pack of these. Flex 75. Authentic 70s plastic, you know, whatever they've done, they've reformulated the 70s plastic. So first thing I do is I drop it inside the guitar. Anyway, this is what it sounds like. I've plugged it into the Marshall Bluesbreaker just so we have a little bit of ampage. It's on pretty much nothing actually. I've got a little bit of it coming through. As I said earlier, I know nothing about acoustic guitars, micing them up at all. I've never really done it. So all I've done today is I've just plugged it in. This is what we're going to get. I've also got a little room mic set up as well, just so we can see, get an idea of what it sounds like, hopefully. sounds like an acoustic guitar, doesn't it? Cool thing. So yeah, this go nicely with my Joe Strummer collection. I've got the Fender. A lot of people said this was too expensive. It's a Mexican Fender, but it's like a road worn. I like it. A lot of people are a bit sniffy about it, but it was like 1,400 quid, I think. So it's quite a lot of money, but it comes with a lovely case. And it's a great guitar, really nice. Good relicing, I don't care what anyone says, the relicing on this is excellent. Fender Mexico, but it's beautiful. It's nitrocellulose. I can smell it from here. It's making me intoxicated. So this fits. What a pair, come on. If you're a Joe Strummer fan, come on. And it didn't stop there. I'll show you this. Hang on. I'm downstairs. I need my bench really, don't I? So I can put all the guitars in there. But I'm not. I'm downstairs. So hang on, I'll show you. I've got another one. Well, I've nearly got another one because it's not finished yet. But I've been building this from scratch over on the TV channel. So this is my own version of the Fender Custom Shop Master Built Esquire, Joe Strummer Esquire. So this is the Guitaristas TV channel amateur built Joe Strummer Esquire. And this is where it's at the moment. I've just literally done the decal and the neck lacquering, and I've got to rub that down and obviously put it all back together. All this is finished. It's just got to be put back together. And the film's finished. I'm on episode 7 at the moment. So, and I think there'll be an 8th episode adding up what it cost and everything. So that, if you've not been over the TV channel yet, that's what you've missed. Well, it's one of the things you've missed. So check it out. There's the link there. So as soon as I've finished that, that'll be 3 Joe Strummer guitars. I'm a big Joe Strummer fan. I was heavily influenced by in particular the 2 albums that the Clash made, London Calling and Sandinista. Sandinista in particular. I know London Calling is the one that everyone's, was it? Something like that, anyway. That's the one they go on about. London Calling, brilliant album. But Sandinista, if you haven't heard Sandinista, it's not what people think. The Clash, punk. I don't know if you'd call them a punk band if you heard Sandinista. Some punk on it, but there's loads of reggae on it. There's loads of jazz on it. There's some great little. Oh, that's wrong. Hang on. Let me do that again. That's the Clash. Jimmy Jazz. He's walked in for Jimmy Jazz. He said he ain't here, but he's showing past. All you're looking for, Jimmy Jazz. There you go. I sung for you. Well, you could call it that. Not singing again. It's easy to play. Don't know if I really spoke about the short scale. It's a short scale. It's just over 24-inch scale, 24.1 I think they say in the specs. So Fender Jaguar and the Mustang, they're short scale. They're 24-inch, but they might be 24.1. Anyway, it's short scale. And I did discover that acoustic guitars in general are normal scale length. So Fenders are normally 25.5-inch scale length and Gibsons are 24 3/4. So yeah, they're same as electrics. So this is a short scale. It's quite a small guitar. At first you don't realise when you, well I didn't realise when I unboxed it earlier, but then when you actually take it out of this environment and put it alongside full-size guitars, you notice that it's quite a diddy little thing and it's very comfortable to play. I like it. I've just got to learn how to play it now. I was trying to learn this thing. I was watching Tommy Emmanuel. I mean, yeah, okay, he sets the bar quite high. Anyway, he's doing this little shuffle and it's great. It's, I can't do it, hang on. I'm going to try and do this. That's the chord that gets me because it's kind of a backwards C shape and it's counterintuitive. That's what I was looking for. Get the idea? But I can't get that under my fingers yet, that. If you try and do it as a G, it works. Because you're used to that. Yeah, so it's easier. But it doesn't sound right, obviously. It needs that ringing out. I don't know what that's called. I imagine it's a G with a D, is it? Sounds nice though. Anyway, it's a shame I didn't practice that more so I could have played it properly for you this week. But that's the reality of playing the guitar, isn't it? You have to learn stuff. and you have to put the time in. And if I practiced that for a few more hours, no doubt that would become a lot easier. And on that note, I think we'll wrap it up. That is the Joe Strummer Campfire signature, or whatever it's called. There you go, there's his signature, Joe Strummer. That's a cool little guitar for £350. It just goes to show that signature guitars don't have to be expensive. And I say, I mentioned that because just this morning, the new Epiphone Joe Bonamassa SG Custom dropped, you know, which looks great, doesn't it? Fucking hell, £1,500. Come on, Epiphone. That's difficult for me, that, because I like an SG, as you might know, and I don't have an SG Custom. So that should really be right up my alley. I should have been click and bought that already. I mean, they're in stock here in the UK. Should have bought that already. I have to think more than twice about that, though. £1,500 for an Epiphone. I don't get it. I genuinely don't. I'm struggling, to be honest with you, to, in my mind, justify that amount of money. I bought one of the expensive Epiphones, didn't I? The Carina Flying V. I ended up getting that cheap because it was broken. And swapping that for a great guitar. So that turned out all right. But I only paid in the end about 850 quid for that, which is about what I think these things are worth. I don't see an Epiphone SG as good as it is. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying I just bought a Gibson SG for 1,500 quid just a couple of weeks ago, all right, on discount. But I got a Gibson SG for 1,500 quid. An Epiphone SG is an Epiphone SG. You know, Epiphone didn't make SGs. I just thought I'd mention this because I'll probably have people going, oh, you're going to get the new Joe Bonamassa signature SG. I don't know. I ought to. I really ought to. And maybe I ought to get it and then see if it's worth it before I start espousing these ill-informed theories that they're too expensive. I think they're too expensive. I think they just got greedy because 2 years ago you could buy Lazarus, which was a Joe Bonamassa signature Les Paul with burst bucket pick. I mean, this Epiphone hasn't even got Gibson pickups in it, has it? This SG, it's got Epiphone. I think it's got Alnico Pros in it, Pro buckets. I don't know. But it's got Epiphone pickups. Not even, you can't even say, oh, it's got Gibson pickups in it. It's an Epiphone with 3 pickups and an Epiphone branded Maestro for £1,400. Maybe the case is worth £1,000 and the guitar's worth £499. Anyway, I wasn't going to mention it, but I did. But, I suppose really because, all right, this is a tribute or signature. It's cheap. It's 350 quid. A lot of people said that, hang on, let me swap. A lot of people said that this was expensive when I bought it. When was that, last year? Year before? This was 1,500 quid. But it's Fender. It's got a Fender on the headstock. It's got a road-worn neck. Oh, it's a Mexican Fender. It's got a road-worn and it's relic and it's nitrocellulose. It smells lovely. I mean, you know, it's not a Chinese-made Epiphone. That's what I'm saying. Well, we'll have to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if I get it, won't it? Because the gas is strong. It's an SG. It's an SG Custom. Looks great, doesn't it? I just think they're killing me, you know, with these prices. They're killing me with these prices. And I think they've just been greedy. I think they had a really nice run of success with the Inspired by Gibson range, which I trumpeted. I trumpeted them, didn't I? Is that the word? Anyway, I praised them mightily, to the point where people were saying, oh, is your channel sponsored by Epiphone? No, they were making great alternatives to Gibson, a great affordable alternatives to Gibson classics. And I've got most of them because they're great. And they still do that. Yeah, they do. That's the thing, isn't it? Epiphone. Their thing, isn't it? For every stage. So the new Joe Bonamassa SG Custom, they're saying, in their blurb, they're saying, oh, we've made it for every stage. 1,500 quid is not for every stage. 1,500 quid is what a Gibson costs. You should have made a Gibson version and sold it for £2,000. You could have done that easily, couldn't you? But Epiphone for 1,500 quid is not for every stage. Epiphone for 1,500 quid is for people that can afford them, which isn't everyone. And it isn't me. So I have to think, well, I can't afford that. I ought to buy it to review it for the channel. And at least then I'll be able to speak with some authority on the matter and say, well, is it worth 1,500 quid? I don't know. It's going to be tough, isn't it? I'm really rambling now, aren't I? Well, I'm going to go and I'm going to think about it. And I would like you to let me know what you think. What about the Joe Strummer Campfire guitar? And signature guitars, I suppose, as a whole, and whether or not you think I should buy the new Joe Bonamassa SG Custom, and whether or not you think it's worth it, or whether or not I should find out. Tricky, innit? Well, come back next week, same time, same place, and find out what the next chapter brings in this saga of an old grumpy bloke today, but grumpy when Epiphone charged £1,500 for guitars, bloke. Talking bollocks, as usual. So come back next week and let's do it all again. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it. I'll see you again, I hope. Cheers for now. Ta-ra.